My name is Salganek, and I'm a professor here at the University of Alaska Fairbanks, and I was asked to be the director of photography for The Messenger, written by Kade Mendelowitz. Back in the spring of 2011 is when the project first started kind of coalescing. In one moment I'll be working with audio, and in another we'll be doing set dressing, and in another moment we'll be figuring out camera work, and another one we're dealing with lights, and and then meantime trying to keep the story together, like what is the film and are we shooting it in a way that's actually telling the story. So having the students involved in a university setting, the hardest part for me was the scheduling. If you're doing a math class, you only want to meet, 1 hour, 3 times a week so you can absorb the information, go back and do the work, and then come back and get, the next lecture. Film doesn't work well that way. When I first taught Let's Make a Movie, it was 1 hour a week, 1 day a week. And we couldn't do anything. It was impossible. And so then it went from that to expanding it to 1.5 hours, 2 times a week, and now we're doing it 2 hours twice a week. And that's just barely enough time to get to set up a shoot, do a very short shoot, and get all of the equipment back. And most of the time we run out of time. Do we have any funny stories? I'm sure that they'll come to me down the line, right? Everything's funny in retrospect. I mean, there was so much drama in this dramatic piece, that was surrounding the set, that it was sometimes hard to find the humor in the moment when we lost our lead actor. And there were a couple of other things that happened throughout the process where it just wasn't funny. It was kind of serious the whole time. There was one shot that we did actually that was really funny. It was a very tight set. We were shooting at the makeup room over at Lathrop High School at Herring Auditorium, because they have this really pretty makeup room, but it was very, very tight in there. And it was an over-the-shoulder shot of Carrie, the character Jessie, talking to Elizabeth, who was played by Siri Tuttle. And we needed to get the reverse shot of the over-the-shoulder behind the actresses, but there wasn't any place to go because there was a mirror behind her. So instead of actually doing an over-the-shoulder, we had them switch directions and shot the over-shoulder through the mirror looking back this way. And by the end of that shot, we were so confused. I was like, okay, move left, no, move right, no, I have no idea where you're going, but you gotta keep going in that direction, whatever that is, And so we would get these shots lined up, and they were really trick shots because it was through the mirror and reversing the angles through the mirror, so that was pretty fun. What's this really about, and what do we get from the filming of this story, I think is important, and what do you walk away with? And I think, it comes back down that you just have to trust. You just have to trust, and there's been a lot of that process in this project. I mean, we just had to trust that things would come together and that students would, be available to work, and that we would, continue with the film one way or the other. And I think, and learn to trust one another, and that's really what filmmaking to me is all about. It's really having a group of people that you're just like, go for it, you do it, you guys do it, you can do it, and letting go. I think of that as a faculty member, as a professor, has really been fun. I remember the first couple of shots, I was pretty much like, my camera, get away, like my camera. And it was really nice to move off from that and go, hey, you guys got it, it's all you, And by the end of the film, I got to sit there with the monitors and I could see what everyone was doing, but you guys were making your own decisions, and it was really good for me. I really enjoyed that, of just like, hey, this is where it has to go. And that was really fun. So I mean, that to me is the moral of the story. It's just trust your skills and trust each other. Leaning on the students, yeah, they really had to, do their work. They have to show up and like be a part of the project, and whatever their job is that they have to do, yeah, I lean on the students on occasion, but it's mutually beneficial.
Can I go home now?